And the late singer KK's cremation takes place today. His mortal remains, of course, are at his residence, where people will be allowed to pay their last respects to the singer. Ankit is reporting on this. He's live from outside of KK's residence. Ankit, take us through what's happening around you.
Such a belief. And
Mr. Dholakia, bear with us. We are now live on TV. Okay. We are speaking to Mr. Raja Dholakia, who is telling us about how he's worked with KK since '96. And you just told us something very pertinent. You told us about his health, that there was nothing to prepare you for this kind of medical situation to arise, for him to pass away like this. Will you just tell us a little bit about how hard he worked and what you believed his fitness level to be?
He was very health conscious, and he was doing workout and everything. And I'm not now staying here in Bombay. I'm staying outside Bombay. But we just talked just before 4 months, and because when you talk to him, you feel literally so positive, because he was so positive energy, and plus he was conscious, so amazing nature, graceful, and I cannot believe that this kind of a thing happened at that moment here. And I think God is loving him more. So हमसे खींच लिया है इन्होंने KK. I cannot believe, man.
Right, sir. One more question. He was in Kolkata. He performed there 2 days in a row. That is part of the parcel for someone like KK. He would perform very regularly in these high-intensity performances.
Every show, the high energy, and the way I've seen 2-3 performances, the way he was moving on the stage was so amazing, and the way the लोग पागल हो जाते थे यार. Means he was so amazing, energetic, and and very tough to do a show like 2.5 hours show, or it's very strenuous. But he was blessed. So that's why we cannot believe that it happened like this.
Right. I thank you, Mr. Raja Dholakia, for speaking to us about KK. Thank you so much, sir. We just heard someone who has worked with KK for a very long time, since 1996, and he spoke about how he voiced thousands of jingles and hundreds of songs. And so right now, inside the Park Plaza residence of KK, a number of people who have collaborated with him for similar lengths of time have arrived. We saw a short while ago singer Hariharan, another legend in the Indian music industry, went inside. What's going on inside is that the mortal remains of KK have been placed at a position on the ground floor, where the neighbors and anyone else can have convenient access so that they can pay their final respects. And after noon is when we will see that the body will be taken to the crematorium. The final journey of KK will begin at that point. There is quite a lot of security presence here because a number of people are coming, and there's a lot of media also present, and so they're trying to manage the situation. Some of these lanes are a little bit narrow, but 1.5 days on from the tragic and shocking demise of KK, there is still we are still to come to terms with the fact that he is gone. He is an indelible part of music culture here in India across generations, right from high schools and colleges. He was in fact performing at a college festival or for a college program, and that is when he passed away, and that is when the incident happened. And so, like we were speaking right now to someone who knew him very well, he spoke about his fitness regimen that he was used to performing at such high octane events. So that does beg the question, what exactly happened? The full autopsy report of KK is not yet out. That will take another about 50-ish hours by our calculations. There is a preliminary finding that it was a myocardial infarction that killed him, that is a cardiac arrest or a heart attack. And in that kind of situation, it becomes imperative that the patient is given medical attention as quickly as possible. And so could he have been taken straight to the hospital from the concert venue where he was already showing discomfort? I think the answer there is perhaps a yes. The fact that he was taken to the hotel did not help him. And we saw the visuals of KK being brought to the hotel. He had a towel wrapped around his neck. He was still clearly feeling the effects of the air conditioning at the Nazrul Manch auditorium in Kolkata not working. He had been complaining constantly, even during his performance, that his backside was being fried. So he asked for the lights at the back of the auditorium to be turned off. He had taken the audience's permission for that. He told the audiences that it would not make a difference if the lights were off in the back. They'd be able to see him just fine. And so clearly he was in some amount of discomfort. So there remains a question mark over how he passed away. It's an enormous tragedy for the country, and we saw that it was not just fans and it was not just people who had worked with him who paid their condolences. Among the first to pay their tributes were the Prime Minister and the Home Minister of the country. And that just tells you that he transcends languages, he transcends ages and generations. And by now, some of his songs have even transcended him, in the sense that so many covers are made for them. There are jingles that KK had voiced that have become so mainstream that people don't even know what brand they associate with, who was in the ad and who voiced it. But they are so popular because his voice rings in their ears. And I think that is something that the nation and the industry are yet to come to terms with. There is still some time left. I believe the paying of tributes has only just really begun, and we are expecting more people who had worked with him in the past to come and pay their last respects before he begins his final journey, which we will be bringing to you viewers. Back to the studios for now.
For joining us.